Let me just do a bump of coke here, Curb.
Thank you. Okay.
Ah, shit.
Good. Anyway. Okay, here we go. This is a Kirblog all about Final Fantasy VII.
You said it was One Punch Man, Curb.
101. Hi, welcome.
You said it was One Punch Man, you piece of shit.
Oh,
you lied
God,
to
I'm
me.
sorry. I'm sorry.
God
I'm
damn
a
it,
dirty,
Curb.
disgusting piece of shit. Welcome, everybody. I'm joined by Takahata 101, Curtis Arnott.
You say that with an accent that's concerning for TSA.
Takahata 101. I'm just trying to be sensitive to your heritage.
I am white.
From the country of TeamFourStar. Of the nationality of a Burging.
This is the dying place of white people.
Yeah, the internet?
No.
I mean...
No, Canada.
Oh, no, Vancouver's nice. Well, you just moved to Vancouver.
No, and you see, white genes are recessive, so we keep breeding with other ethnicities, so we're slowly breeding ourselves out of existence.
Oh, you're destroying all of humanity slowly,
It is about time, I think, honestly, that we get rid of white people.
This is the grade A comedy you can expect from Final Fantasy VII Machinabridged.
We haven't really covered ethnic cleansing yet, but I feel like we've done it enough in DBZA.
Well, Otaka, I brought you on with this one because I'm not even gonna have a question on the fucking screen because the topic for this one is my entire Twitter, Facebook, every Tumblr, every fucking social media orifice on my timeline everywhere for the last like 48 hours has been, oh my fucking god, you predicted the future about Cloud being in Super Smash Brothers.
Oh man,
holy shit!
What a surprising revelation! How is it that the best, arguably most well-received Universal fighting games sold to not just fighting game fans, but casual fans, would contain one of the most popular RPG protagonists of all time?
How?
What a fucking surprise, huh? Didn't see that one coming! Especially with FF7, the remake. Oh, fuck off. This is not surprising at all to me. At all. This is just money. Why? The fact that this doesn't happen sooner is bizarre, beyond, like, why? Like, people are like, well, why not Celeste from Final Fantasy VI? Wanna know why they wouldn't put Celeste in? Wanna know why? Because everyone would go, oh, fuck. But if it was Cloud, I'd buy it.
Are you gonna be okay there, buddy?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just anyone who acts contrarian or acts surprised to this, I'm just like, fuck off. This is a good money deal, and anyone who bitches about it.
Okay, just to give context about this, and I don't know if you even. I'm sure you don't.
Yeah.
I literally did not even remember this, and I fucking animated this. So in one of the illustrious Brawl Taunts animations that I collaborated with Kira Buckland, our good friend, on back in 2008. Kira, not me, Kira, who wrote the cartoons, by the fucking way, internet, had a joke about some guy being like, hey guys, wouldn't it be funny if like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII was in Brawl or whatever? And I'm like, ha ha ha. And then Ike beats him up and it's like, oh great, you know, the grade A comedy you can expect from Brawl Taunts, just like Final Fantasy Machinabridged. And fucking everybody was like, oh my god, you predicted the future, I'm like, first of all, I didn't write the fucking joke. I did not write the fucking joke. I didn't write any of them.
Write jokes.
So I don't. No, I'm not very good at that. I don't write, period, frankly. I animated the Brawl Taunts cartoons. I did not write them. Kira Buckland is the psychic here. So all of you, please direct your fucking like adoration and profit shit to her, because she's the one who did it. I truly, I'm not to pin this on her, but like, I don't want to take any credit for a thing that is not directly my goddamn responsibility. So
be careful who you throw under the bus, because she might grab your leg and drag you under with her. You understand that, right?
Well, no, it's okay, because she can find Mew under the bus, because she plays Pokemon competitively, so like she knows how to like get Mew and then use HM cut.
Who else you can play competitively now? Cloud and Smash.
Well, I wanted to.
I wonder what song we'll play when he wins a Smash round.
It'll be sunlight. Sunlight, having a wonderful time.
No,
it'll be
totally, that. My first reaction was, I'm like, oh man, Kirby's gonna have Cloud's hair. That was my first reaction. I'm like,
that's true. That is true. Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
And the best part is because they have the alternate outfit. the Advent Children design, which is cool. They tossed that in there.
I don't know. I think it's a little bit try hard, but that's just Advent Children.
Well, it's just having it as an alternate is like, oh, that's cool, you know, just to have both.
I mean, if you had to give him a costume, why not give him a dress?
That's what everybody wants. Although part of me doubts that they will do that, but it would be amazing if they did.
You know what? You never know what it might be demanded. Also, we were tempted to actually just do one of those like Cloud swings in. Or like where they do those those Smash announcements and they have a catch.
Oh yeah. They had that for the trailer.
Ours was gonna be Thunderhead blows expectations.
Well, I on that note, I what a note it was, because I wanted to the question I was getting was thoughts on Cloud being in Smash Brothers, but I wanted to extrapolate this further to thoughts on Final Fantasy VII, and I felt that fittingly, as you have been doing Final Fantasy VII Machinabridged on the TeamFourStar channel, and also, as fate would have it, I also just died in the most recent episode.
Yeah, you did. You died on a good joke, though. Be happy about that.
I did. I thought I was considering Jessie's voice hot. And I don't think Jessie's voice is hot, but I do think that Jessie's voice is hilarious because she cracks me up.
Casting Jessie's like a safe bet in any situation.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. I was myself, Chris Zito of Parody Rangers, and Jessie Nowak, who's Hyperlinks and Tome. The three of us got to play Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie, ironically, from Avalanche.
And all three of you from New York.
Yes, actually, which was really cool.
That's kind of
led by Barrett, played by the great Anthony Sardina.
Mm-hmm. Also a safe bet to cast.
Yes, absolutely. I want. Yeah, that's. Antfish is Barrett. Fucking duh.
Consult the flow chart. Cast Antfish. It always ends with kiss cast Antfish.
More or less. Well, I guess first of all, I mean, like, obviously, I'm sure people probably already. Well, they know who you are for one thing. You were last joined me on the study of Goku Kirblog from, I think, earlier this year, possibly.
Was that? Yeah, maybe. I
think it might have been earlier this year, like a long time ago.
Last 2 years were kind of a dream for me.
Were they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Was it a good dweem?
No,
a good dweem.
Actually, it was a lot of isolation actually for 2 years.
Oh.
No, it's fine. I moved out on my own. I'm doing my own thing now. But yeah, continue.
That's okay. Well, you start. Well, Final Fantasy VII Machinabridged has been kind of in the works for a really long time because. Yeah. At least a solid year by this point, I think, right?
Last summer's kind of when I put together the pitch. Then we wrote out a pilot script in the fall. Then it kind of hit a production snag for a few months. But then after that, Antfish was added as a co-writer for the rest of the series and a project manager for it to help manage it, as I also had TeamFourStar duties.
So summer 2014 was when you started on it,
the first initial steps. There was a good 4-month delay in the middle of that year.
Okay.
We actually started writing the scripts around January though,
and you wrote like all of quote unquote season 1 in one big batch.
Yeah, we did. We wrote it. I think we started at the end of January and we rolled through February. I think beginning of April is when we. I think so, beginning of April or beginning of May is when we wrapped it because there would be sometimes a week between that because we were also scripting DBCA.
Of course.
At the same time, also had the convention tours and stuff, so there'd be massive scheduling issues and that kind of stuff. I know we started recording in May, and we recorded almost everybody over the course of 2 weeks, and then I actually flew out to Toronto and we sifted through all the lines.
And that was fun, and I worked with Anthony directing me at Xander Mobus and Bosco's place. So.
Me and Adfish, we kind of I kind of. We co-directed. There's no real way of mincing it. I think I was he's just fantastic. He's worked with a lot of talent and stuff, and he's worked with tons of directors, so he gave invaluable insight into directing. It was really fun to be able to do all this directing. We actually had to split the load at some parts. I'm like, all right, you go handle Kirb and Lanny. I'll go handle these actors. Also, I have to go to a con. We work together as a team, and that's the important aspect of that.
So does he also know the game fairly well? Has he played through 7 as well?
He actually has just finished beating 7. I'm pretty sure actually.
Oh, okay.
He has he has a fair amount of knowledge about the game, but he himself's more of he's more of a scene by scene writer. Mm-hmm. I'd say out of the two of us, I had a bit more knowledge, but now that he's gotten well versed in it actually. Now he knows a lot about that stuff. I remember we were actually reading together into the prequel stuff with Crisis Core, and we're just like, oh my god, we were rolling our eyes at some of the terrible writing in the other games, because there was a prequel before Crisis which was called Final Fantasy before Crisis, and
was it the cell phone game? I think, right?
It had like a full essay explaining the story and how Avalanche was actually started secretly by Rufus on the side with like another person who he was in love with, but then she died. It's all this complicated like corporate espionage, and then it tracks into Crisis Core, which gets really anime. And, like, because it follows all this corporate espionage, all these full explanations on motives and, like, corporate stock prices and all this stuff, like, really, like, high technical stuff. Then it gets to Crisis Core with all this, like, theology and, like, what is reality kind of stuff, love lists, all that shit. And then it gets to Final Fantasy VII. Next appearance of President Shinra is he appears with a giant robot. We're into Final Fantasy VII now. Okay. We're out of this complicated writing and into like, all right, and he's like, let's destroy part of the city, and he destroys it. It's like,
they got fucking Gundams. Clearly this game was made for you.
Oh my god. Like it goes from like overly complicated to fucking weird to all right, back to the basics. It's like this it's if you follow the canon, like the true air quote canon,
sure.
it gets simpler and simpler as it goes.
Well, you grew up with the game, right? You had the original game on PS1 back in the day.
I did not actually. I had.
Okay.
I had to borrow it at a later age. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start first with my experiences. So I actually have not played the game before, and weirdly the most amount of information I've actually got from the plot of like the progression of the actual story has been through watching your show. But as a young chillin'. Growing up in Long Island. My best friend, Mike Lucas, was the guy who had the PlayStation 1, and I had all the Nintendo stuff, because I would say, Nintendo, etc. as one of those kids for a while. But I would go to his place and play a lot of PlayStation games, and he had 7, and he was really big into it. And he actually didn't finish it as a kid because he wasn't, like, the most amazing player at it, but he got through it a pretty fair amount and knew a lot of extensive shit about it. And funnily enough, actually, it just occurred to me about this, Taka. This is so ironic that you're with me on this, because in, I believe, 7th grade, Mike Lucas and I, those of you who have ever seen Mike Lucas, he basically has Cloud's hair, more or less. He's got the Super Saiyan hair, natural. He was Cloud for Halloween in 7th grade, and I was Imperfect Cell for Halloween in 7th grade.
Oh, my God.
So clearly there was some kind of weird unconscious connection with you. What were you doing in 7th grade? Moving. Oh.
Yeah, I moved a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry.
But yeah, while I never played the game, Final Fantasy VII was one of those things where it was just so incredibly massive and iconic that I basically knew who every single one of the main characters from that game were. So that by the time Advent Children came out, way later, and also Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 with the, cameoing appropriately characters, I was like, oh my god, it's Cloud and Aerith and Yuffie and Tifa and all of these characters and Sephiroth and holy crap. So I knew who all of them were, and I knew the basic gist of them through like just seeing Mike play the game and explain to me stuff about the plot, seeing a lot of like the internet fan cartoons. Like, of course, I don't know if you remember, but the Random Battles in Final Fantasy VII cartoon that Legendary Frog did on Newgrounds.
Final Fantasy is an RPG.
That and that too. That was a separate one. That was the Chocobo song. But yes, that one also I've seen. Yeah, so that was kind of my whole experience with it. And then, so when did you play the game? Like, how old were you when you actually got to play the game itself?
I think I was either grade 9 or grade 10.
Okay. So it was before Advent Children came out, and there was the whole resurgence.
Someone lent me a PlayStation 2. And,
okay.
I played a bunch of RPGs I missed out on. It was that and Skies of Arcadia and Final Fantasy VI. I kind of played them all around the same time. I played them all three of them at the same time. And for that reason,
wait, 6, 7, and Arcadia?
Yeah.
Christ Almighty!
I was behind. Like all three of my friends were like, "You should play this one. No, you should play this one. No, you should play this one." Like they just kept like all my friends were like hardcore Final Fantasy players. So they tried getting me to play all the games and stuff. Unfortunately, I was getting overwhelmed. Aside from that, like I enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed those kinds of games because back when it came out many years beforehand, I just didn't get a chance to play it.
When you were playing through 7, did you have any were there any distinct? I mean, obviously there's a lot of the famous parts, but
when you left Midgard, I had no idea. I was like, wait, that was the first part of the game, it felt like a game unto itself. It was like it's like 6 to 10 hours depending on how you play it, and it felt like a bit of a story unto itself. And I essentially realized that was the prologue. You know, that really was just the first part of the story. Then we had all the traveling, like that jarring jump, like was. Like one of the biggest reasons why I think this game has resonated with people, and this is the big reason why, if I can segue over to why I think this game resonates with people so much.
Sure.
At the time, there was nothing else quite like it.
In video games, absolutely not. No way.
Not only was it a Final Fantasy game, which were very popular, it created a 3D world. Other games had as well. I know, I'm well aware of that. But it came along and did it. It created very memorable characters, had a very unique style to it, was very different from the rest of Final Fantasy.
I believe it was the first one, I could be wrong about this, but I believe it was the first main series Final Fantasy game that Tetsuya Nomura did the character designs on.
I do not know if that's true, but
I believe it was, obviously he went on to do Kingdom Hearts way later, but I believe that was his first one.
That may be the case.
Yeah.
Because he does like giant feet.
And also because before that, I cannot recall the original like usual guy that did like the very like kind of artsy like watercolor type of illustrations for the first 6 games, but I think that after that they were like, okay, we're going to go in a very different direction on this one.
The art direction was in the game itself was very different because they had all the other art for all the other games but like this one they changed it all up. They kind of made it a bit more anime, actually. And that's
it was very anime, yeah. And they had the really gritty looking like backgrounds and stuff.
No, it was the world, the setting. It was all dark, dingy, guns. Like it wasn't fucking around. It's like this is like today if those classic Final Fantasies turned into the future, it became a dystopian world, and the oppressive corporations, all that shit. So that resonated with a lot of people. Because that was the style of action movies around the 90s.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. And it was a perfect storm of there was nothing else like it on the market. It came out, the advertising for it. You remember those 2-page spreads of Midgard?
No, I don't think I actually saw like the age of the promotion for when the game first came out. What was it? Was it 96? When did that game come out?
I think it was 97 or 98. I'm trying to remember the exact.
Okay.
I think it was 97. But yeah, anyways. Did you see the pictures after it came out, though? Like, upon reflection, like the 2-page Midgard spread, actually, in a video game magazine when I was a kid. I was like, I wanted to play the game so badly.
The design of the city is like, it's just
they had this 2-page spread. I forget what the quote was. It was just like, not all fantasies have to be final, or something like that. I was just like, what is this world? Because it had the cool green, the glow, the dingy city, guns. I'm just like, oh, what is this shit? And then they had a full motion video, like cutscenes, not full motion video. Like they had CG cutscenes.
Yeah.
They had a really strange villain. They had a great. It was just a perfect story that came together. I mean, whether or not is it the best Final Fantasy story? That's subjective. I think 6 has a fantastic story. Is 6 as pretty to look at as 7? No.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I know that 6 is the one that a lot of people debate, like, specifically between 6 and 7, which one is better. And I know that because, like, 6 had technology and some futuristic-esque stuff in it, and, like, Kafka is, like...
It was hindered by the bit era it was still trapped in.
Well, you know what's crazy, too? I don't know if you know this, but, like, because I believe 7... was going to be on the N64, and I think it was a completely different game. I remember there was some kind of like tech demo for it, on, like the N64 disk drive.
There was Final Fantasy. You know what it was called?
What?
You know what the original Final Fantasy VII was going to be? Apparently, the rumor is I could be completely debunked on this. From what I read, though, it was actually supposed to be. Oh fuck! What's the name of the game? I'm forgetting it. It is Xenogear.
Oh.
Xenogear was too different from the rest of this franchise. So they actually turned it into a different game. That's why the ending is rushed, because they just wrapped up the production and started moving on to a different game.
What system was Xenogears on?
That PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
If you actually look it up, if you can confirm it, because it's also made by Square, it has a similar battle system.
Well, I do know that there was like a tech demo for what I believe was the N64 disk drive. So I think that Square was because I mean Nintendo was generally like the go-to system they had for new Final Fantasy games.
They had all the Final Fantasy games on it.
Yeah, but then they moved on. And then I think I remember, too, because this is kind of going off from 7, but as a kid, I had a PS1 combo disc of 5 and 6 on it. So I think that when they moved over to PlayStation, they're like, okay, we're going to release the older Final Fantasy games that we didn't put out before, because we just got 1, 4, and 6 labeled as 1, 2, and 3. And then they were like, all right, fuck it, we're putting them all out.
All that confusion shit.
Yeah, but no, but 7, and especially because they were also not calling it 4 over here, they were calling it 7. 7 seemed like kind of that same point, like with Sonic, where like Sonic Adventure was like, okay, we're like,
oh, Kirk, you would make it be about Sonic, wouldn't you?
Everything goes back to Sonic. Sonic is all. But no, but like seriously, like 7 seemed kind of like that turning point for Square. Is like, okay, we're gonna really do something like. And then 10, it was like that again with 10, where like 10 is like, all right, we're totally going in a different direction, doing something completely new with this. But yeah, but you were talking about like what it is about 7 that like has lasted so long. For one thing, like all of those characters, you know, because even to tie it in with the Smash Brothers thing as well, you know, objectively, way back in the day, like I think when Brawl was still coming out, when I was thinking about, you know, if there were to be other third-party characters, if we were to have like a Square representative, I would have loved the Black Mage, because I feel like the Black Mage is kind of like the all-encompassing Final Fantasy representative character of like, you know, all across the board and not just from the first game. But at the same time, I'm not,
more?
Huh?
You know what would sell more?
Cloud.
You don't fuck around. This is clearly like, and anyone who's like, oh, why would they do that? Money? Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
And that's not a complaint.
This one, we could make 4 times the profit.
And just to clarify, that's not a complaint at all. I'm not upset about Cloud being chosen. And quite frankly, I think I probably said this on Game Explain a while ago, but because a lot of people, when the Smash ballot went out, and by the way, Cloud was not, as far as I know, Cloud was not picked because of the Smash ballot, because the timing of that does not make sense. This was clearly like they went out of their way to get this character.
You know what? I firmly believe with the second that FF7 announcement went up, Nintendo's just like, all right, let's be here. Do you want Cloud in or not? Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they were already trying to work on it.
Oh, they probably told
for a
Nintendo
while.
they're working on an FF7 remake and they wanted Cloud and Smash. It's the best advertisement.
That's, yeah, fair enough. I mean, you know, Cloud is featured in Theater Rhythm and that new Final Fantasy Explorers games for 3DS. So, you know, they have a platform to promote him on. But that was...
It's just mascots.
Well, but that was the funny thing was like everybody was saying, "Oh my God, Kirb, you got to vote for Geno on the Smash ballot from Super Mario RPG." And I'm like, guys, let me tell you something. That is my favorite game of all time. I fucking love that character. I fucking love that game. And I legitimately said, Cloud has a better chance of getting in Smash Brothers than fucking Geno ever will. And lo and behold,
because non-nerds know who the fuck Cloud is. Cloud is the John Cena. No, Cloud is the video game Goku.
I don't know if he's the video game Goku.
No, he is the de facto protagonist. He's an iconic protagonist. Whether you like him or hate him, he's an iconic protagonist. Might be one of the most iconic protagonists, Chrono aside.
I would say he's, by this point, I think that he is more, I love Chrono and I love Chrono Trigger, but I think Cloud is more iconic.
I think Chrono Trigger's a better game than FF7, but I'll flat out say that
totally.
Cloud's a more iconic character than Chrono is.
Yeah.
Because did Chrono Trigger have a full 3D movie? No, he did not.
Well, I guess on that note,
I paid big money for that though.
Taka, what do you think of Advent Children?
What do I think of Advent Children? Fan-Wank.
It's very pretty.
It's pretty. It's complete fan service. The movie. It's just fan service, which is everything a movie like that should be.
See, it's weird though because like I saw it. I watched it subbed.
You wanted to go to a Final Fantasy story with a meaningful story that wraps things up. The fuck is wrong with you, you delusional asshole?
Well, I watched it subbed and then I watched it again when the dub came out and I'm super excited about it. And it is beautiful. It is a visual spectacle, like a feat of CG animation, like 100% undeniable.
Absolutely.
Story-wise, I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Oh God, no! The story is. I just have sound effects to describe that story.
Well, no, it's weird too
My
because
favorite part of the story is where Tifa fights laws
in the garden while the piano plays.
No, yeah, you mean if it was an abridged version, it would be I don't give a damn about my bad reputation.
How you doing? You want to play with me? fucking lost.
Where's my mommy? I'm gonna kill.
Where's my mommy?
I would just, I would make the three of them Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob.
Well, there you go.
I can't find my mom.
There's your Advent Children fucking Machinabridged preview. Everybody in like 700 years.
I'll find mommy. Oh, goody.
Yeah, I know, but
welcome to Advent Children, Squidward. I hope you like the letter.
Friends I knew that were like big into Final Fantasy VII and knew like really all the ins and outs of the story. Even they were like, I don't know what the fuck that movie was about.
No.
Like I'm just like, what?
You want me to sum it up? I can create summed up versions. All right. So the point is, Sephiroth, the one in the game you kept seeing as he walked around, wasn't actually Sephiroth. What he could do was possess his dead mother's corpse. All right?
Neat.
And create an illusion, right? So when he ditched a part of her body, it mutated and stuff because it's infected by that alien disease, the geostigma, right?
Right.
Because he's a clone of her, but she's the last survivor of a race that was infected by a disease. So they dropped the disease off on Earth. That's the convoluted part of the story that confuses a lot of people, all right? So they cloned a fucking sick person, essentially. And when through the cloning, they actually merged in the virus into their system, which gave everyone their powers and shit, or something along those lines. All right, everyone wants to correct me. You know too much about this, all right? Now, what happened was the live stream connects all of us, right? And when they killed Sephiroth, he exploded into the live stream because he himself, the one who got like stabbed through the chest by Cloud, who fell into the live stream from the factory that was sucking it out, he's still down there. Like, and throughout the game, he's down there, like, absorbing live stream, getting stronger, turning himself into a god, essentially, right?
Neat.
Okay, yeah, all right. So when they kill him, he explodes. So his bits of his essence spread out through all the live stream and then infect everybody. That's what happens. He infect everybody. So everyone... That's why Rufus slowly turns into a Sephiroth clone. It's weird. It's like...
Oh, was that what was happening to him when he had like the sheet over him or whatever?
Yeah, kind of. Like, he's like getting infected slowly by it, like, because everyone's turning into clones. That's why those three clones were around, because there are three borked up clones of Sephiroth they were trying to make. That's why they're all like weird, like they're all incomplete versions of him.
Huh.
Or something along those lines. It's very confusing. So what happened was, why he came back is they take the last body part of Sephiroth's mother, which was the head that was removed in the first game. That's why they could never find the head. They found the head. They had it the whole time, apparently. Okay. So he shoves it into his body, like the one that shoves like the head into his like stomach. And then it has enough DNA then for Sephiroth to possess him from the live stream. That's what happened. That is
like
what
convoluted.
Welcome to anime, the RPG. Okay.
Oh god! And this is all just like okay.
His bloodlines allowed him to summon their ultra form.
How do we like give like an hour and a half of fucking like build up to just get it so we can have this like ridiculously badass over the top CG rematch battle between Cloud and Sephiroth? How do we logically get to that? We do all this shit. We did it. Hooray.
Hooray. Cloud sure did win.
Fucking A.
I sit back, you know what I say? Totally worth it. 10 out of 10. Love it. Really watch it all the time. It's fucking schlock. It's fan service, and I don't fucking care.
That's fair. I did rewatch. You know what?
They added Rude and Reno scenes in because Reno and Rude were the most beloved characters outside of Cloud.
Oh sure.
That's why like everybody else just had that cameo at the end, which was great. They all just show up one after another, like it.
Well, all the other Turks and all that.
No, not the other Turks. Well, Turks barely show up, but like the rest of the main characters and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, they join in the battle.
They join the battle, and I gotta say, there's some confusing aspects of this. All right, yeah, Tifa's around. The Barrett's talking on the phone every now and then. Barrett doesn't really show up to the final battle. He's like, "Where's my lead?" It's like, "All right, cool. Hi, Barrett. How's it going?" Vincent shows up in an earlier scene, being Vincent, which is like, I'm mysterious. All right, cool. All right, cool.
Only Toonami.
Hey, welcome to Toonami. He shows up because he's a fan favorite too. Then he shows up in the final fight, just slowly walking in. I'm like, all right, don't rush, Vincent. Don't rush into that fight. It's not like we're dealing with the fate of the universe. All right, shut up. So, I have one problem with that fight. Why the fuck is Reeve? You know, Kate Sith, why is he using a doll? What the fuck is he... Reeve, get a gun! Just go. Get a sniper
Fan-Wank,
rifle.
dude. Fan-Wank.
I know,
like you said.
it's all Fan-Wank, but like that one is the most like, come on, Reeve, you're in town. He's on a computer somewhere with like motion controls. Oh, jeez, I'm helping. When he should just grab a car and drive it into the fucking
and just run his fucking car into the Bahamut like fucking
I guess
15.
It's better than him being in like the big cat form of Kate Sith, like a fursuit, and like, hey guys.
Yeah, he just rides on top of Red 13, being all like, oh, hey, what's going on, guys?
I don't know. I think he did like a magic attack at some part. I'm just like, okay. And I gotta say,
silly.
like, it was really weird because like sometimes the first time hearing these characters voiced for a lot of people.
No, that's right.
I'm gonna say this right now. I love Liam O'Brien, but it was so weird hearing him as Red 13. As hearing him as Red 13, he's like, the children are doing well. All right, that's creepy. That's weird. That's not comfortable.
He fit very well though. I actually did like it for like the one line that he had in that movie. I
find Red 13 creepy though. That's the problem. Now I was like, hello there. I just imagined him like, yes, we should go to where my family is. All right, man. All right, you calm down over there.
I think did he speak more in that stupid fucking like Dirge of Cerberus game with Vincent or whatever?
I don't know. Let's not talk about Dirge of Cerberus, okay? You want to talk about bullshit story shit?
No, I don't actually, because we've already been doing that because we're talking about Advent Children.
Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus.
I've heard people like Crisis Core though. Actually,
here's the thing: that the fucking FF7 is like the cake aspect. You want to talk about the icing and the fucking whipped cream? Let's do that. All right, let's talk about that addition.
You have feelings about this
fucking. I do, because I wanted more. I wanted it to get slowly worse and worse until it didn't make sense anymore.
Well, as far as I know, the Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII dancing all night. Damn it!
Dancing all night.
Because the thing about it, Persona 4 is arguably one of the best RPGs ever made, right? And I beat it recently. It was great. It had its spin-offs. They didn't ruin the canon.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, did FF7 do that.
Well, you could just ignore it all and just play Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, sure. But the hardcore people will remind you it exists and is canon.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing, though. It's kind of like with when people are like, all right, I don't really like GT, like in Dragon Ball. It's like, all right, then just watch Dragon Ball Z and then just be done, whatever. And then watch Super after. I don't fucking know. It's
like Children is Final Fantasy VII GT.
I mean, well, actually, it might not be because doesn't the other stuff happen after Advent Children? I think, right? Or I don't know what the order is.
Advent Children happens years after.
After 7, right? Okay.
The prologue during Dirge of Cerberus happens during this big event during FF7 near the end, where there's a cutscene and the characters and like if you beat the game and shit, there's because you evacuate Midgard or something immediately afterwards. It's like set off screen or something when you're fighting stop Meteor from hitting. Just shut up. Follow with me here, okay?
Okay.
So like there's the end cutscene. You don't actually have Vincent and Yuffie because they were optional characters. So in the final cutscene, they're not there, even if you had them. So in Dirge of Cerberus, they're on a special mission to evacuate a facility nearby, which happens to be coinciding exactly during the scene where they're having that cutscene in FF7, thus explaining where they were. And I'm like, oh boy, we're starting off with an explanation.
But even then too, it's like, well, okay. First of all, on a little side note, I think in the remake they're definitely gonna make Yuffie and Vincent. They're not gonna be optional. They're just gonna be part of it like 100% now. There's no fucking way.
Yuffie like models and Vincent models might as well make them.
What do you mean models?
Like toys, like models.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
I don't want to say bust because if I say a girl character, then bust.
Yuffie doesn't have a bust. She's like 12.
That is.
God Almighty. Yuffie's actually really cool. I like her a lot.
She really badly wants Cloud's dick, and I cannot wait for them to capture that in glorious HD. All right,
is that actually a thing?
Oh yeah, she really wants to make out with Cloud Con.
What does like everybody want Cloud's dick? Is that just like?
I want Cloud's dick.
I mean, well, yeah, but that's you. I mean,
yes, I hate to say it, but this is the first Final Fantasy that turned it into a harem. All right.
No, but no, really, like, well, hold on. In the actual game, like, because he likes Aerith, that's why he's all like fucked up when Aerith passes away.
He kinda has a thing for Aerith, and he doesn't know why. It turns out because he thinks he's part Zack, and Zack.
Oh, right. Okay. But did Aerith like him or did she not? I forget.
Kinda. It's a little bit weird. She was kind of like big sisterly.
Okay, but then Tifa was like the Tifa.
Tifa was the girl next door. Her character could be summed up with Cloud ...
Oh, well.
I'm serious.
I don't know. I like Tifa, but no. Actually, didn't Barrett like Tifa?
No, Barrett didn't have any relationship preconception.
Oh, I thought he liked Tifa for some reason. Okay.
Like a protector,
but
not romantic.
So what? When you beat Yuffie like as the mysterious ninja girl in the overworld, and then you like have the conversation where she like, oh, Cloud is cute, I'm gonna hang with him or whatever. Is that what it is?
She brings it around like, all right, everyone, shut up. Let's talk about how supple Cloud's lips are, okay?
Listen, I don't know this stuff, so I'm depending on you to not be fucking with me right now. I have no idea.
You know, I could be right now potentially.
Good. Well, either way, I don't know. Yuffie's funny. I think she's cool. I don't.
She's a very funny character, and I look forward to having her show up in the series.
Indeed. She'll be in season 2, I suppose.
Oh, yep.
Okay. What was I saying before? I was getting to a point before, and now I can't even fucking remember what it was. Oh, I was gonna ask you who is your favorite character of the or characters perhaps
of FF7.
Sure.
I like Barrett a lot because he's very unconventional in comparison to a lot of RPGs coming out of Japan, especially at the time. He was a very over-the-top, aggressive character. He was a bit stereotypical. I'd say he's a loud, angry black guy. Like, that was his trope, and they went to town with that, but I still thought it was pretty cool that they had, like, a substantial character who wasn't just another, not just another... He was a different ethnicity, and they drew attention to that, and I like that. Actually, I thought it was really good. I really like Tifa in combat, and in Clinical as a character, I'm not a big fan of her. I thought she was rather upon a playthrough when I'm a bit older, I found her to be a little bit. Her character literally was just talking about Cloud, and we're being worried about Cloud, and I think that's a little bit one-dimensional, unfortunately. And I think there's more to her than that, but. Her character can be summed up as like Cloud ... That's a good summary of her character because so many.
I like to think that Tifa just as like in some ways Sephiroth is like the devil on Cloud's shoulder. Tifa is like the angel on Cloud's shoulder in a way.
Actually, Aerith was the angel on the shoulder.
That's true. Yeah, fair enough.
She was like she's the girl next door trope. Is what she was, unfortunately. And as well, I am a fan of Reno as a character as well.
Reno's pretty funny.
That's why I was happy he got extra scenes in Advent Children because they're Turks are the Team Rocket. That's what they are.
Yeah, more or less.
They're the Team Rocket of FF7, and I love them.
I feel like his popularity alone is like why Axel was made.
Well,
because Axel. Well, no, because Axel is as Nomura has kind of stated, like officially, he is the equivalent character of Reno in the Kingdom Hearts lore. Like there is no Reno character in there.
And played by the same actor.
Yep, and I think 5 different languages, same actor.
Yeah, I think that was intentional, and I think that's cool.
Oh yeah, completely, yeah. But no, I think that's kind of cool. I think that like it goes to show it's like, oh, people really like this guy a lot. But did he like redeem himself? Like did any of the Turks like become good guys in Final Fantasy VII, or were they always just like doing their shit? Or
they kind of do in their own way. They realize, hey, wait, we're the bad guys. That's why they fight the Sephiroth clones in the movie.
Okay,
that
makes sense.
Rude and Reno get into the fight with the 2 Sephiroth clones. One of my favorite fights in the whole show, which is where like the whole sign falls on Rude's head. And then they step on his glasses, and they pulls out another pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, you know you love it.
No, it's like,
Also, my favorite fucking line in the whole movie, I don't know if you remember this, is like he's like yelling at I think Yazoo and Laz or whatever with Rude, and he's like, "You didn't say that bad thing about Mother." He's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Your mom's cool." What the hell am I saying? I don't even fucking. It's like some weird bullshit. Yell at him. And then also I remember, what's that part where like Tifa is like consoling Cloud and he's all like, and she does like the dilly-dally shilly-shally thing, and Reno's like, I think she's trying to tell you to stop fucking around and just man up and do something already. It's like, thanks, you're good. You really. On the note of Cloud, let's talk about Cloud for a minute. So Cloud is a character that I feel didn't start a particular trope, but he definitely popularized it, like for both video games and anime, with having, you know, you think of also characters like, I don't know, like Sasuke or, you know, characters like that where they're just like, no, I can't. I just...
stoic hero with issues.
Sure, and I feel like a lot of people associate that sort of personality with Cloud now because in all of the like later games, he's like that because he's like that because of Aerith dying, right? Like, because it's just like fucked him up so badly.
That also, he has no identity. He made up an identity because he didn't like who he was. That's also vague, but. Yeah.
Well, but those two things combined, it's like he's genuinely, which is kind of deep and actually even kind of relevant to, you know, a lot of stuff happening today. It's like he's genuinely lost. Like, he's fucked up in the head, very much so. Yeah. But so many, and I know in the beginning of the game, he's much more like, you know, kind of like go-getter, like, you know, we're going to take on the world sort of personality because he's, you know, he's emulating Zack's whole sort of like, yeah, like bro-y kind of thing, right? Which I'm very curious about hearing, because I know that they're going to bring back the voice cast for the remake. I'm very curious to hear Steve Burton's, like, more energetic take for Cloud. For when he's not like...
I will personally say I'm terrified to hear it.
I don't know. I think it could be interesting. Because, I mean, like, I feel like I've only really gotten to hear him doing the, like, what am I doing with my life sort of thing. And I'm like, I want to hear his, like, normal Cloud take.
Advent Children take could be summed up with, hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah.
I guess I better
be a hero.
I
got to keep going. I'm looking for someone. That's sort of like mild. I actually mostly hear, despite it being like celebrity casting, I mostly hear good things about people feeling about his voice for Cloud.
Not at the time.
I do like Justin as well in your version.
Justin plays a very different Cloud.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? He's like he's really trying to fit in, and it does not work.
Well, but here's the thing. Like, the point I'm getting at is that Cloud is a character that he's a trope that a lot of people still, I think, to this day, make fun of like, oh, like the emo, annoying, whiny protagonist.
He's patient zero.
Patient zero.
Yeah, he's patient zero. He's the first one. He's the iconic first one that everyone emulated. A lot of RPGs emulate Cloud. They really try and go for that character. That's like why Rey from Evangelions, you see that character in every show nowadays. The emotionless.
Oh, that trope. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's been a thing for a long time, but like, I don't know. But like, despite that, Cloud, I mean, again, he was the Final Fantasy representative chosen to be in Smash Brothers. So clearly, despite people's complaints, there's still something about him as a character that is interesting, that people adore so much and associate with Final Fantasy as a brand overall so much. It's, you know, what is it you think about Cloud, like, just purely as a character that, like, people love and like identify with so much?
I think when we were younger, because that game came out when I personally was, I think, around grade 6 or 7. I'm trying to remember which grade it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot for a lot of people. It was their 90 kids. It was right when their puberty was starting to hit, and they felt like they were having issues.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cloud resonates with that whole. I think Cloud is the kind of guy you want to be. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud's a cool character. He's always too cool for everything.
See, but even then, though, I don't, because like when I think too cool, I think of like Dante from Devil May Cry. Just like, yeah.
Cool. Cloud thinks he's cool.
He wants to be cool.
He wants to be cool, and he's acting like he's cool. Dante is cool,
and
he knows it. Cloud's trying to put on an act, and that kind of like he's trying to be more like Zack, because Zack's a very confident guy who knew he was cool. Cloud's not so much. Cloud didn't have confidence. That's why it's a weird, convoluted thing. That's why I think Cloud's an actually very interesting character if you can play through the entire game and understand the full grasp of the story. Because Cloud wasn't the hero. It kind of got put upon him. Zack was the hero. He was the traditional hero. Like he was the one with more energy. He was more positive and that stuff. And like Cloud was the friend.
Yeah.
And now he's thrust forward into this story. And I think for a reason I think they captured that pretty well in the game. I could be completely wrong about this. It's really down to interpretation. I think one of the reasons why he's cool, he had a big ass sword and he had cool hair. you gotta look base level, and he was always had a snide remark. Always felt like he's like whatever.
Was that always like kind of a thing with him in the game? Like, was he always just like, whatever?
Yeah, he's very.
I don't know.
He's like, pay me my money. That's what he was like. Pay me my money, and I'm done. stick, Tifa, Cloud, please stick around. We can do another mission. Please, we'll pay you. Fine, but the pay better be good. Like, that's the character he was.
And it was all a facade. It was all just like, I'm trying to emulate my friend.
It was like someone else, and that's why when he broke down, that's why he like had this massive identity crisis.
See, because like when you really like get down to it, because I don't know, I feel like maybe I can't fully break down what it is that people like, kind of rag on with it. I don't have the experience of like actually playing through the entire game, and you know what? Maybe fair enough for some people. It's like I can't like suffer through this character. Like I don't like I'm not connecting with them, or I don't like sympathize with what they're going through. That's a perfectly like fair response also. But I think at the same time, the kind of depth they go into with the fact that like he's so genuinely fucked up and has like real kind of maybe not 100% relatable, but still relatable in a unique kind of way issues, for a main character is interesting. And your bit about how a lot of the people playing the game when they were like kind of on the cusp of that sort of age range, because Cloud is like 18 I think in the game, right? Is he around that age?
Yeah, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense, especially considering Square was probably trying to like evolve the games with their audience to some extent. So I don't know. I think there's still like, well, I mean, it speaks for itself just again because of how massive it is. But like, there really is a lot more. There's probably a lot more value to like Seven's characters and story and like Cloud himself, just like than maybe people like give credit for at first glance. What in the case of Machinabridged, like obviously it's a very different character because it's more lending itself to comedy. But what is kind of like the spirit of Cloud that you try to like kind of get across with like the version that you have written for your show, more or less, Taka?
He's trying too hard.
He's a try-harder?
He's trying way too hard, and the people he's dealing with are not nice. You gotta understand, like Tifa and Barrett, they're terrorists. You break it down, they blow places up. Yeah, villains are bad, but they're blowing stuff up. They're not nice people. They're morally questionable people at best. They've gone to the extreme of actual explosives. Blow up facility. Like, you get to a part where like, oh, we're blowing up property now. And
in the game, is he doing Tifa a solid and helping them because of that?
Yeah, in the game itself, he's doing that too. So like, what I'm trying to get across is that that's why you notice in the show, he'll all of a sudden be trying to like, all right, guys, let's handle this soldier style. Like, he'll try to be really cool for a second. He's like, hey, bud, why don't you leave the girl alone? He's being something he's not. He's trying too hard, and then he falls flat on his face. Like, oh, why don't you fucking mind your own goddamn business? All right, I'll banter with you, and gets schooled by Reno. He's like, I'm not that good at this. Oh, damn it, and he feels sad.
When in reality, though Reno might be like a touch more experienced, he is also trying too hard.
Oh no, Reno's such a blowhard that he's able to get away with stuff. Like he says what he believes so confidently that it completely bulldozes Cloud's full confidence. Like in the end, like Cloud in the game is like an edgy, cool guy. That's what he is. I mean, breaking it down, he's a very complex character, and you learn more about why he is the way he is as the game proceeds. In our version, we wanted to start him off as a little bit more malleable, and he toughens up because he feels like he tries to be cool, but it falls flat on his face. So with the next season, we have a direction in the way. We want to make him a bit more aggressive and like put up with people's crap a little bit less. Because the thing is, you can't. Starting a character off as an edgy, cool guy would be like, whatever. Having Cloud be the straight man would be terrible in a comedy. That'd be really hard to do for a while, in my opinion. Or rather, I wouldn't want to write it that way. Yeah, someone could do it, by all means. It's just not how I want to write it.
Well, you want to have a main character have like enough range to like play with, I suppose.
I want the characters to grow and change. I want Barrett in the next season to relax. I want Tifa to stop being as aggressive, and I want Cloud to get more aggressive almost. Because the after all the events of everything that happened, Cloud's like, you guys treated me like crap, so now I'm stuck with you. So let's deal with this. You're not gonna be pushing me around as much anymore.
Also, now we have like 7 other people fucking following us around.
No, it's true. So Cloud has to be kind of the de facto leader. So he's got to be a bit more of a cynical douche. He actually becomes the edgy cool guy, slowly, not starting that way. He slowly becomes that way. Then Aerith dies, and then he crashes and burns because he gets too cynical.
Yeah.
And that's what causes her to die. but I won't spoil.
Well, especially with full circle Kira Buckland, who you couldn't have a more perfect Aerith, more or less.
Really, she was the only person precast.
Yep.
Yeah. I had her air quote audition. It wasn't an audition. I just wanted her to slate test it.
Yeah. That's when you know you're in love. Yeah. Well, I guess kind of to start wrapping things up here. What to be excited about regarding Final Fantasy VII stuff in the future. I am looking forward actually to playing as Cloud in Smash because, as with many of the other characters, it looks like they've stayed very true to his abilities and his specialties and different sort of quirks from the game that he comes from.
The Midgar arena looks really sweet too.
Oh yeah, with the summons and everything as well. Yeah, that shit's awesome.
Sephiroth to be added to the game now.
Yeah.
And
maybe we'll get a trophy.
I hate to be that guy, but Barrett or Tifa need to be a summon.
What an assist trophy?
Assist trophy at least. I mean, I'd love Tifa and Barrett to be in the game.
Legitimately. The most unfortunately, the most we've gotten as extra material alongside a DLC character has been a trophy. We got a Ken trophy for when Ryu came out. It wasn't an assist trophy, just a collectible trophy with like the description. And we get Mii Fighter outfits. So I guarantee you, because they have revealed that we're gonna get the Chocobo hat. We'll probably get like Black Mage and like maybe some of the other.
Yeah, you get all the Chocobo. They even showed the Chocobo hat too.
Mughals and then like Cactuar and stuff like that. Like sure, other characters
Cactuar
like.
Summon.
No. I like for Mii Fighter outfits. We'll definitely get that stuff. Assist trophies and stuff like that. I don't know if we'll be lucky enough, unfortunately. But having Cloud, I guess that's kind of a little addendum to like, because I just did a Did You Know voice acting episode about Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they're gonna handle his voice because Steve Burton is Union, and that game ain't Union. So
I've mentioned to you in private that I think they might switch up the cast, but that is honestly gonna be down till we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think for remake, which I'm also excited about, if not to play, just to even see.
Oh, yeah,
I do think that they're going to keep everybody, like for the most part, that they've had consistently, because it just seems like weird to switch them out now all of a sudden. But for Smash specifically, it's because it's like a lot of people were theorizing, oh, they'll probably just recycle some Dissidia clips or something, but it's like they can't do that because that's Union, and they can't just recycle clips like that because it doesn't work that way.
Nope.
So. I do wonder, but then again, I mean, in Brawl was non-union.
They had Hey Bear come in and re-record Ryu.
That's but Street Fighter was non-union, so. But believe it or not, but then again, also for Brawl, they somehow were able to make an exception for all the Metal Gear Solid actors that came back, so maybe they'll figure something out. So.
It's more or less, let's not impede this with a bunch of needless like paperwork and stuff. This is just a small cameo.
Sure.
Like I'm happy when they do stuff like that. It's just it adds a level of coolness if you can keep the original cast.
Of course, yeah. Do you have Smash on Wii U or 3DS?
I have it for 3DS. I do not have it for Wii U.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping they'll put Midgar in the 3DS version also.
No,
Hopefully.
They probably will.
Yeah, hopefully. 7 Remake. I'm looking forward to for sure. And I'm looking forward to more of your show. And I mean, you've teased a little bit about it, but are there any particular things in upcoming episodes, including ones maybe you haven't even written yet that you're excited about?
I'm looking forward to the Sephiroth Cloud flashback.
When Sephiroth?
Cloud Sephiroth flashback will be great. I'm looking forward to working with Yuffie. I'm really, and I'm not worried actually. I'm looking forward to see people's reaction to what we do with Vincent.
With Vince? Oh, do you have a fully fleshed out idea for him now?
We're going with a thing.
Okay.
We're
not going to announce who it is yet.
No, man. Watch the show.
Fair enough. Well, you can see that on youtube.com/TeamFourStar. Not that you're not already probably subscribed to them, obviously, but I'll have a link to the playlist. And I just finished up, again, my last episode is Biggs, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing that. Anything else you want to plug? Takahata 101?
No. Unplug. Please watch FF7 Machinabridged. Definitely check out where we actually just started the TFS plays DBZ games. We just got through Dragon Power.
It's hilarious.
Oh, such a great game.
It's pretty great.
No one ever commented on the comment I made. Was I think this game is set up for DLC. I have all these like quiet. aside moments because I don't know, I just get tired in the middle of the afternoon. That's when we recorded it, so I was kind of tired for the recording of it. And like Lenny and Kieran bouncing around, I'm just like, come on, we should do this, guys. Why are we doing this? Like, we're doing that. We have a lot of games. All I can say is there's one game in particular we play, which Lanny's just 10,000% done with playing it.
Oh, I bet I think I know what it is.
And it just consists of me, Kaiser, Kieran, just getting really shit faced, and like we're laughing our asses off at one mission that we just can't get past. It's pretty fantastic. So yeah, definitely check out that the TFS plays DBZ games, and I'm gonna give a plug to something cool. You guys like Sword Art Online? There is
I've never seen it.
A Sword Art Online abridged series by Something Witty Entertainment, SWE abridged. They go by, and they do Sword Art Online abridged, and they are fantastic. It's made by two friends of mine, and the show starts off pretty strong. Second episode's a bit rocky, but then immediately after that, you hit the ground running, and it's fantastic. It is.
What's their YouTube channel name?
SWE abridged.
Okay.
And they're fantastic. Sword Art Online abridged. SAOA. That's the abbreviations of their show.
Sawa.
Bye, baby.
I love my Sour Patch Kids.
You think Kirito's salty? Nah, he's just sour. Oh yeah, that's good.
Fuck you. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, God Almighty. In the comments below, tell us. Are you also excited about Cloud to be in Super Smashed Potatoes?
How full of crap was Taka in this interview?
In this entire episode. What other Final Fantasy VII related things are you excited about, and why? Give us your thoughts. Go check out all of Taka's stuff that he plugged before. I'll have links to all that in the description. And if you have future ideas for other Kirblog topics, leave a comment about that too. I believe that my next Kirblog will possibly be my top 10 South Park episodes, by the time this is out.
On that one, and I've watched the whole series.
Well, fucking, I'm sorry, but I'm not though.
You know what the best episode is?
What? Scott Tenorman Must Die. It's a good one.
I could talk all day about my favorite TV.
He eats his own parents.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm gonna be doing that later without you, so there. Look forward to that. But if you have suggestions for future Kirblog topics, leave a comment about that or hit me up on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, blah blah blah, all the usual shit. Taka, thank you for joining me.
Alrighty.
End this with a Final Fantasy VII related catchphrase of some kind.
Oh, from FF7 or FF7 Man?
Yes. Either, any, whatever you want, baby.
Don't fuck up. Drop the bass.